Today I am sharing a foolproof technique to make a best crispy roast potatoes, the perfect quick side dish for any meal or a party. So let's get started. First step is preparing the potatoes. We are going to prep the potatoes. I am using either russet or Yukon Gold potatoes. Both the varieties are great because russet gives a really crisp exterior and Yukon Gold hold their shape better. First you will want to wash them thoroughly, peel them and then cut them into large chunks. The size is key here. Cutting the too small will dry them out, while larger chunks allow the outside to get crispy without losing the fluffy texture inside. Step number 2 is parboiling the potatoes, which is really crucial for getting the texture just right. Bring a pot of water to a gentle boil and then add a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda raises the pH of water, which helps to break down the surface of potatoes more quickly, and this creates a starchy layer on the outside that's going to crisp up beautifully when we roast them. Add your potato chunks to the pot, let them cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. You do not want them fully cooked here, we are just looking for the knife to meet the little resistance when inserted. This means they are softening up, but they will finish cooking in the oven. Parboiling give the potato a head start and ensure that inside is perfectly soft and creamy by the time outside crisp up in the oven. Once potatoes are parboiled, drain them and let them sit for a few minutes. This resting time is super important. It allows the excess moisture to evaporate, which is crucial for getting that crispy exterior. While potatoes are resting, let's move on to infusing some flavor into the oil. Heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a pan over medium heat. Once the oil is warm and slightly hot, we'll add some freshly chopped rosemary leaves. This step will add a burst of earthy flavors that pair perfectly with the crispy texture of the potatoes. Let the rosemary sizzle in oil for just a few seconds to relieve those aromatic oils, but do not let it cook for too long. Overcooked herbs get bitter. Then immediately strain the oil through a fine mesh strainer to separate the crispy rosemary leaves from the oil. Save these crispy rosemary bits, we will use them later to add texture and flavor to the final dish. Now the potatoes have been rested and our herb infused oil is ready. Drizzle the herb infused oil all over them, season with a bit of more salt and freshly ground black pepper. Now here we will do something different. Instead of gently tossing the potatoes, we are going to shake the bowl roughly, vigorously. What this does is to break up the surface of potatoes slightly, creating a starchy mashed potato like paste on the outside of each chunk. This is what is going to give us that crunchy golden crust once the potato roasts in the oven. It's a simple trick, but trust me, this makes a huge difference in the texture. Now that our potatoes are coated, it is time to roast them. Spread the potatoes out evenly on a baking tray. It's really important not to overcrowd the tray. You want the potatoes to be in a single layer so that they will roast evenly and get that all important crispy texture. If they are too close together, they will steam rather than roast, so we will miss out that golden and crunchy goodness. The temperature for roasting the potato is 230 degrees centigrade and you have to roast them for 15 minutes. After first 15 minutes, take the potatoes out, flip them over using a thin flexible spatula. Be careful not to break them apart. This ensures that both sides of potatoes chunk get golden brown and crispy. At this stage, we'll also add those crispy rosemary bits that we set aside earlier, along with some freshly chopped parsley. The rosemary adds a crunchy texture and the taste, and parsley gives a nice fresh flavor and color to the dish. Pop the tray back in the oven for another 5 minutes for that final roast. This final roast will really brings out that deep golden brown color and makes the potatoes irresistibly crispy. When the timer goes, take the potatoes out, you will see that they have turned beautiful deep brown with that crisp crackly surface that we were aiming for. Now they are ready to serve, crispy on outside, tender on inside and packed with the flavors of rosemary and parsley. This crispy roasted potato makes a perfect side dish for any meal or have them as is. I love pairing them with fresh salads. Today I paired them with a fresh honeycrisp salad to make a complete meal. If you want to know the recipe, you can check the link in the description below. And as usual, let me know in the comments below what do you think of this recipe. The crunch is unreal, almost unbelievable. These roasted potatoes are dangerously good. Potatoes always deliver, and this recipe is the proof. Trust me, you are going to love this recipe and you will have to try it. You know when a recipe hits all the right notes, and this one is it.